Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video all about conspiracy theories, specifically Bermuda Triangle conspiracy theories, which is something that has fascinated me for such a long time. I am someone that really loves, mysteries, everything unsolved, all those kind of conspiracy theories. That really is so interesting to me to research in my own spare time. So I thought that while I am researching that in my own time anyways, I might as well put it into something productive and make a video on it for any of you guys that are also, like me, really interested in this kind of stuff. So for all of you who don't know, lots of freaky stuff happens in the Bermuda Triangle. Like, it's really weird, okay? It is crazy. It has always been a big unexplained mystery, and for as long as I can remember, all I've known about the Bermuda Triangle is weird shit goes on there. So the area is roughly bordered by like Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. So there have been a lot of disappearances and crashes of boats and aircraft in that area over lots of time. And no blanket explanation has ever been attributed to all of these different disappearances or crashes. So without further ado, let's get into it. So one of my first theories is that of vortices. So I know that I have no idea what a vortice is, so I'm assuming that a lot of you wouldn't know either. So let's just look into that first. So basically the weather is just bad crazy in the Bermuda Triangle. That's what this guy's trying to say. And it just like messes with everyone's equipment and is just like in general a massive dick. So this theory is made plausible by a researcher named Ivan Sanderson, who devoted his life to researching vortices. So if he's right and there is a vortice in the Bermuda Triangle, this would explain the strange sea and sky phenomenon, the mechanical and instrument malfunctions, and all of the mysterious disappearances. And this theory is actually further made plausible because Sanderson actually drew out a big map of the world and highlighted 10 other locations where these via vortices were occurring, which were equally above and below the equator, which is pretty crazy to think about. So the next theory is that of magnetic variation. So this theory was proposed by the Coast Guard at the time over 30 years ago. And this is one of those conspiracy theories that isn't really a conspiracy theory, it really just makes sense. It is one of only 2 places in the whole world that if you hold a compass, the compass points to true north. So basically, usually a compass points to magnetic north, which can be up to 20 degrees different to true north. So like, imagine that you're just navigating the seas in your boat, you're like, yes, chilling in the Bermuda Triangle, and you're like, yes, heading north, got this under control, but then actually you're not, you're heading 20 degrees in the wrong direction, you're not going north, you're going like this way, 20 degrees, the wrong direction. So pretend that I'm trying to get this way, but I'm going this way, I'm not going to end up where I'm trying to go. And you could end up anywhere. You could end up in the middle of the ocean where there's one of those vortices that we were talking about before, and you're gonna hit the fan and you're gonna just die. You're gonna be disappeared, and that's gonna be the end of that. My next theory is one of my favorites, and it is that there is a space-time warp in the Bermuda Triangle. Wouldn't that be so cool if it was real? Come on. So it has been widely theorized that there is a rift in the space-time continuum inside the Bermuda Triangle. Oh my god, saying space-time continuum literally makes me feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie. Space-time continuum. Basically, this warp just randomly opens up whenever it decides to, and if you are unlucky enough to be in a boat or in a plane near that area at that time, you are screwed and you get sucked into the warp. And you just get lost in it forever. And that is a really popular theory because usually there is no wreckage or anything ever found from the planes or the ships that disappear. So that would explain where it all goes. Sucked into the vortex. I like that theory. That would make sense to me. If we were on a sci-fi movie, that would 100% be the truth. The next theory is that there is a strange electronic fog lying over the triangle. And this theory is actually really widely believed, so much so that people wrote a book on it. One of the authors was actually a first-hand survivor and witness of this electronic fog theory. So the story goes that on December 4, 1970, he and his dad were flying over the Bahamas in a little aircraft, and they encountered a strange cloud phenomenon, which was basically like a tunnel vortex. That's how he described it. And so he said that all of the plane's electronic and navigation equipment just like went crazy. The compass was just spinning and spinning and spinning, and they had no way to navigate, and the plane was basically malfunctioning and going crazy. And so once they got towards the end of the cloud tunnel, they obviously expected to see a blue sky and the sea below them, as you know you would when you come out of heavy cloud cover on any normal flight. But when they came out of the tunnel, all that they could see all around them, so there was no sky, no horizon, no sea, just a strange grayish white color all around them as far as the eye could see. And they flew the plane in this grayish white for 34 minutes, which was a time frame corroborated by every clock on board. And after this 34 minutes had passed, they found themselves over Miami Beach in Florida. So the flight would have usually taken around 70 minutes. But in this instance, it only took 34 minutes. This theory is that the electronic fog is the reason for all of these planes disappearing. That's the first theory that we've talked about that has had someone who's actually experienced it and lived to tell the tale. So that's quite the front runner. So the next theory is probably the one that you've all been waiting to hear about. That is aliens and UFOs. So a lot of people think that aliens, for whatever reason, have chosen the Bermuda Triangle as their abduction site. And no one knows why, no one knows how, but that is the theory and I believe it. So there's no evidence of this or anything except that, you know, the whole boats and ships just disappear without a trace, are never heard of or seen of again. And it's also wondered why the aliens would take the whole plane or the whole ship and not just the people that were inside of them. But you know what? Stuff that. I believe that theory. It is aliens. You heard it here first when it's proven. So another theory, and this is a really creepy one, I find this one so interesting, which is that the deaths and disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle are due to a curse. So a psychiatrist called Dr. Kenneth McCall believes that the area is actually haunted by hordes of African slaves who were thrown overboard on their voyage to America, and that just blows my mind. Like, what a crazy theory. And he wrote of his own personal experiences when he was sailing these waters and how it led him to believe to be due to the souls of the slaves who were thrown overboard. So I'm going to read you an excerpt from the book which will just give you goosebumps. It is so creepy, but it is so interesting. As we drifted gently in the now warm and steamy atmosphere, I became aware of a continuous sound like mournful singing. I thought it must be a record player in the crew's quarters, and as it continued through a second night, I finally, in exasperation, went below to ask if it could be stopped. However, the sound down there was the same as it was everywhere else, and the crew were equally mystified. And this was what he says inspired him to do more research, and he found that in the 18th century, British sea captains used to defraud their insurance companies by tossing slaves overboard to drown and then cashing in a claim on them. I don't know, it's a pretty interesting theory. So one of the most interesting, more scientific-y explanations is that of methane gas hydrates. So this theory, basically, to put it in layman's terms that we can all understand, is just saying that there are methane gas bubbles which come up to the surface in the area of the Bermuda Triangle, and these are caused from sea sediments on the ocean floor. Which basically means that things like landslides that happen on the ocean floor can release like a lot of gas, huge amounts of gas, which can bubble straight up to the surface, which then reduces the density of the water, and that pretty much causes any floating ship to just sink like a rock to the bottom of the ocean. So that deals with the ships, but what about the planes? Apparently the gas is highly combustible and it could also ignite aircraft engines when it travels up from the ocean floor into the air, and could just make them explode into 1,000 million pieces, which would obviously lead to nothing being found. So that was my last theory. I just find all of these theories so fascinating and interesting, and I hope that you guys did too. I hope that you liked this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up if you did, because this kind of thing is so interesting to me. I love it, and I will definitely be making more videos on this type of topic if you guys liked it. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I make videos every single week, and I would love for you guys to be here to see the next one. So long, farewell, Avina, and goodbye. See you guys later.